So we're picking up right where we left off on the previous video. We're working on a steel approach to the timber bridge project. I'm a little nervous. I'm not 100% sure this plan's going to work, but I've got a bunch of rebar laying around from the YouTube yacht project. Figure this would be a good opportunity to use it up and you know, do a kind of low expense solution to the problem. So for this part, I need 31 of these. That'd be pretty time consuming to measure. We're just gonna make a quick jig. It'll get them close enough. Now I can just take them, slide them down, bump it, cut it. They might get longer as we go as this burns up, but beats measuring every time. Just about got through the 2x4 there. But it worked good for what we needed. Saved me a bunch of time measuring. I got to clean that tip for obvious reasons. And then I need to rip what's left of that down the middle. We're on that seam right down the middle. It's not going to be a perfect cut. I could lay something on it to straight edge, but I just need it to be in half. It doesn't have to be beautiful. So this thing's going to be 3 foot by 7 foot. I just got some screws, T25 3-inch. I'm just going to square up 4 screws in these boards so we can push to the outers and start kind of welding our way in. Just match up in measurements. That's at 18. I'll add that to 18. So I've got a bar down both sides, just welded both sides. I'm just running some old rods that I had to get rid of, some 7018s and some 6011s. They're older, they're not the best, so I can just crank the amperage, run everything hot and burn them in. That works good for me. I just used a spacer block between there and then put a block underneath to hold pressure on the bottom side while I did it. So we have this end and this end, so everything's locked in place. I've got to get these on next. Are these cool enough to touch? Oh yeah, that's good. There'll be one that goes there, and one that goes right about there. Now the whole point of these is twofold, but I got to run down to show you because I got to get a measurement. So those little pieces of angle we made, they're going to go on the outsides of these runners. That'll lock it, help lock it left to right a little bit. We're going to run some bolts through it, but should make it a little bit stronger. That'll also add just a little bit of extra support right on the path of wheel travel. These runners are the width of those tires. So I need to measure that, and we'll probably just go an inch wider. No sense of fighting it. Doesn't have to be perfect. We're at 61.5, so let's just go outside to outside 62.5. Here's where we're at now. I got each end, that end and this end welded on. I just used another wooden spacer block, worked my way along there. Started there, worked to the center, then came back to the center, just eyeballed the two middle ones, and then just eyeballed these two on the end because they weren't perfect distance spacing wise. But I think that's going to look good. Now I just got a whole bunch of welding to run in on all these. A whole bunch of welding. Good thing I love it so much, huh, bud? There you go. Now I just did one side. I did not do both sides. One side should be plenty. Took about an hour, but not bad overall. I gotta flip it over, and where the wheel path will be, I will weld another one on the other side of it to make sure we got plenty of strength where the driving will be, and I need a stitch on the back side of that too. Right along here, I want to run some stitches in there, and then I want to run a bead right there on the wheel path. I don't think I've been that happy to hear that thing shut off in a long time. She's all welded up though. It is sitting how I want it. All right, so before we can slide this into place, we gotta do a little cutting on there. I wanna take one board out here so that it sits on that bottom one. Otherwise, if we set it up there, it's gonna be, you know, this tall in the middle. But if we take that out and kind of chamfer that back a little bit, make a good smooth transition, I think that's gonna look and work really well. 3 feet. I wanna sit up on top of that. So pretty much, right about there. Oh yeah, she looks good. Fits on there real nice. Can't complain about that. If I could do one thing different, it might be take that chainsaw and make a notch right where that sits on that piece of timber. So it sits down in there just a little bit more secure. That way any rain or anything, or mud or whatever comes running down here, it goes whoosh down here and out. Leaves this timber out in the dry, or should be able to dry out better. And should be a fairly smooth approach, especially once we get a little bit more dirt or stone or whatever we put right there. That rolls on there pretty easy. Pretty happy with it. Somebody did comment in the last video I should have put gaps between my deck boards so it had airflow, and I agree with you. You know, that's why we did. C- on the perception there, but that's pretty smooth coming on and off. I think that's going to work great. Absolutely love it. On the other side, the solution to the rough transition is quite a bit more simple because this doesn't have as an aggressive hill, so it's not as much rainwater coming down to it. It kind of comes down and goes left or right. We're not worried about it. I'm not saying that log won't suffer the same fate at some point, but it's not something I'm going to mess with today. What we're going to do to make this a little smoother, we're just going to cut that flush. Cut this back here with the chainsaw so it kind of steps its way up, so it's a little bit easier to get on and off the bridge. Let's go ahead and drive the rest of the way across. We'll head up the hill, get turned around, and give her a go here, bud. So we're back at that black locust we cut down the other day. I think I'm going to try to get, excuse me, thank you. Yeah, I think we're going to try to get the posts out of what's left of this. Best course of action is probably just cut it up there and then drag it out of these briars and process it up. So I got 4 toenails in, just some small 3-inch screws, that's it. But it'll hold it in place for now. Both of those, the impact ran out of power, so we'll just have to cut those off. Same with that one too. That's just, I mean, this is hardwood. It's not like the pine you're getting from the hardware store. So that's not terribly unexpected. We had to pre-drill and oil all these holes to get all these fasteners in. Should have done the same there, but no big deal. I'm going to try to run just a couple short lags in as well, just to temporarily hold it a little bit better, and then the long-term goal, we'll take all thread and through bolt that to hold her in place for good. That beam sticks out a little bit past on this side. So I kind of flipped her over and cut a notch on this side. We don't have the flat spot, but I don't think that's going to matter too much. See if this works okay for us. Oh yeah, those are looking good. Just temporary securement right now, like I said. I'll get a piece of alt thread that goes all the way through, and then we'll get probably a big old 12-inch lag bolt to run into the bottom. And then on the ends, we'll get some locust posts, shave them, and drive those into the dirt, and we'll get a tree goes across the top of those, and then probably cable through there. That's gonna be another day. I want to try to get this bridge cleaned off and get another coat of oil on it. I was hoping to get this railing project wrapped up this week, but the second half of the week there's some weather coming in, and I'm going to my brother's tomorrow. So I'm hoping we can go ahead and get at least a coat of oil on it, and then it'll be sitting, there we go, sitting pretty for us while it waits. So the deck boards and the running boards we oiled last year. These trees we cut down there green, I wanted them to dry out. I didn't want to oil them and trap any moisture inside, but they should be good. Now my idea, I don't know if it's gonna work or not, but my idea is to just wire cup wheel, cordless, run over those logs. We're gonna do the logs on the bottom too, and then try to get them all oiled up. Should have brought the leaf blower down too. That would have made a whole heck of a lot of sense. That's doing a great job. That is working really well. See, there's that side that I already did. This is the side I have to do next. Not too bad at all. I think that's turning out great. I'm gonna have to go down on the bottom side to get the sides and, well, the bottom. That kind of makes sense. That was self-explanatory, really. We'll do the outsides of that one, and we'll do that one. And I think I'm gonna go get the leaf blower, blow all that off, and hopefully I got enough oil. You can just do everything. Find a leaf blower. YouTube yacht. That maybe I'll check tomorrow. And I couldn't find a broom either. I almost took the one from the house, then my life flashed before my eyes, and I got better judgment. So we're just gonna do the outer logs today, one coat, and then I'll come back another day. It'll be in this video. I'll buy a broom, we'll sweep the daggone thing off, and then we'll do 2 coats, the second coat on the logs and the second coat on the deck, and we should be good. More pressure than that, all right. Okay, hold on. Apparently I'm all out of mini roller covers, and we're just going to use a full-on roller and a little brush, and this is going to, you know, go exactly how I planned it. We'll let you in on a little secret though. If you ever start a YouTube channel, which I think you should, it's a hoot, and you get to meet a lot of cool people, and it will give you a lot of opportunities. It's super fun and really honestly easy to do. But here's the thing, before YouTube, you'd be in this situation and you wouldn't care, right? You got what you got. We're gonna use it, we're gonna get through the day. Next time we go to the store, we'll pick up paint thinner, some mini roller covers, and make sure we got everything we need so we're not in this situation next time we do this kind of work. But when you get YouTube, you're gonna be very surprised the amount of people that want you to know how smart they are. Whenever they built their timber bridge, they had the whole paint store ready to go. Perfect. Yes. Thank you. Good. Well, I just got back from Vegas, and I was thinking the weather would be nicer to finish the staining, but it's 30 degrees and raining today, bud. Not what I expected when I got back, so we'll have to do this another time. But I did buy some paint thinner. I know that sprayer technique works. I've used it before on other decks. I guess that stain must just be a little bit different than what I'm used to. But boy, she's shaping up good. Do some railing logs, get a no coat of stain on the whole thing. She's coming along good. A few people pointed out the rot on the logs underneath. Yeah, I'm aware. I know it's a problem. This will probably be the last year for side-by-side use on it. And then after that, it'll be just an absolutely beautiful footbridge. Those two boards alone are strong enough for the footbridge, so that'll last us a long time as a footbridge. Now hopefully we can get started on the permanent solution. Fingers crossed and everybody is willing to participate. It'll be a little bit further downstream. We'll just have to see how that goes. Next video will be back on my brother's place, then after that back on the 555 possibly, or trade up series depending if that thing ever sells. I appreciate you guys watching, and I'll catch you on the next one.